Hey there, my friends. It's Jen Pitta with By the Shore Stamping. Welcome into another edition of Teach Me Tuesday. Today I'm highlighting a bunch of things, actually. So I'm highlighting the 'Tis the Season paper, which is one of, and I counted these ahead of time and now I already forgot because I got sidetracked. There's like, I don't know, 15 different papers right now that are on sale through the end of October 31st. Or through the end of October to the 31st. So they're 15% off. So this is normally $11.50. So this full pack, 48 sheets of paper, is just $9.78. And there's a bunch of paper right now that's on sale, including the In Good Taste paper, which is generally $21. So it's only $17.85. So some really great deals to be had. But I wanted to highlight the paper. I also wanted to highlight the In the Pines bundle because I have a free class that's happening with that. You can get a free class or three free card kits right now with an order using this host code before before October 30th. And I will send you 3 card kits to make these 3 cards, which I did a virtual class with earlier today on my Facebook page. Just search By the Shore Stamping on Facebook and you can see the class that I did using or putting together these 3 cards. And like I said, if you place an order with that host code, you can go ahead and get these 3 free card kits as my gift. In addition, if your order is $50 or more, you get the little embellishments I used on all the cards for free as my little thank you. So I wanted to highlight the bundle again, which is this cute little die set, and then the stamp set, which I actually didn't use. Oh, that's probably what I should have done. Maybe I'll use it this time. This is the stamp set that goes with it. So if you order the bundle, the In the Pines stamp set and the coordinating dies, it comes to $51.25 before tax and shipping. So that would qualify you for the free embellishments as well. So you would get these for free too. So of course it would be a full package, not a half-used one. So that's just a little tidbit. So I'm sharing the paper because it's still on sale, so you could add that to your order if you need some paper. And then I also wanted to show you, remember last week we talked about the self-adhesive sheets? Well, this week we're talking about the foam adhesive sheets. Oh my goodness, you guys. I didn't discover these until last week. These are like Stampin' Dimensionals for your dies. So I'm so excited to show this to you. I don't want to put my finger on it because I just put some epoxy stuff on it. I don't know if you can see that, but it's going to dry to look like little mounds of snow on my tree. That's the Shimmering Crystal Effects. It's $5. It's a great little add-on. But anyway, check out the card from the side. Can you see the... That's probably better. Can you see the depth on that? It's like a little tree on dimensionals. How cute. And it makes it so much easier to stick it down to your card. So I'm going to show you all the pieces. The other thing that's really cool about this project is I used all of these shaded spruce pieces, all came from one sheet of 8.5 by 11. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how I put this together. So first off, when I selected my paper, I wanted to start with something that could be a good focal point. So I pulled this because I wanted that top layer to kind of have a lot of punch and a lot of pizzazz. So that's where I started. And I picked that one. And then I was like, well, now I need to find pattern papers from the pack that have that shaded spruce element. And I wanted one that was kind of muted for the background, another one that was kind of medium. You know what I mean? It's not quite as bold as this one, not quite as subtle as that one. And same with this one. It's a little bit medium. So, but this one's a little more overpowering. It's a little more busy. So I made that the skinny strip. So that's how I kind of pulled them together. But let's go ahead and start cutting our elements. So, my first cut was on my 8.5 by 11 inch cardstock, and I'm just going to cut that right in half on the long side. So I'm going to cut that at 5.5. Now that gives you 2 card bases, but I'm going to use one for my card base, and then I'm going to use the other one for my additional cuts. So while I have this out, let's go ahead and do that. So the first one was this one, which creates our card base. The second one is 4.5 by 2 3/4. So I'm going to cut that there. And I'll put all the measurements in the description. So then the next cut is 3 3/4, like that, by 2 1/2. So there's number 2. And then I'm going to use that skinnier strip. That's 3/4 of an inch. So see, that's going to be right up against 3/4. And then I'm just going to cut that at 4. And that's easy peasy. So then you still have a couple more pieces left of your shaded spruce, but we made really good use of our 8 1/2 by 11 cardstock, right? So there's those pieces. Now we'll cut the pattern paper to match. So my muted back layer, so the least busy paper that you have, you're going to cut that at 4 by 5 1/4. And that's going to go right on the base of your card. So that's going to go like that. Okay. The next one, they're all 1/4 of an inch smaller than the last. So the next one is going to be, I want it to be the shorter, it's going on this one. So I want it to be up and down this way. So the shorter, this one doesn't really matter which direction anyway. So we're going to do 2 3/4. So, I'm sorry, 2 1/2, right? Let me just think about that. Yeah. 2 1/2 by 4 1/4. Okay. And then that's going to go right on here. Cute, right? Okay, so now this one, this is the one that matters because this print that we're using, this is the bold one, the featured one. We don't want it to be going this way, right? So we want to make sure we cut the skinny part of it first with it up and down. So the skinny part is going to be 2 1/4. Okay, and then we're going to turn it on the side and do 3 1/2. Okay, so then we have that layer. Right? So they're all just 1/4 of an inch difference. This piece here is 2 1/2 wide. This one is 2 1/4. So I'm just taking off 1/4 of an inch on both sides to be able to get that perfect mat for my card. And then this last one is this little paper. Oh, actually I lied. It's this, nope, it's this one right here. And that's going to just be 1/2 an inch. So I'm just going to cut a little strip off of this. And this one, we don't take 1/4 of an inch off the sides. We want it to go all the way to the edges. So we're just going to do 4 like we did for the big piece. I think I kind of moved that. I might have to cut that again. I think it got really skinny. Let's see how it looks. So that's just going to go right across the middle. Nope. Yeah, I kind of messed that up when I cut it. Let me cut another one. I kind of moved it. There we go. That's better. Okay. So then I'm just going to cut like that. All right. And then that's all the cutting we have for right now. So I'm going to set that aside. And now we're just going to fold this piece in half to make our card base. Okay. And I'll use my bone folder like that. Okay, and then I'm going to just attach this down flat. So I'll use my Stampin' Seal Plus. And come on, there we go. And we'll just attach that right to the middle. Okay. All right, so next up is this layer. So we'll go ahead and attach that. I have lots to share with you with this card today. I really wanted to highlight the paper and the fact that I love how everything coordinates so nicely so that you can buy one pack of paper and make like very well coordinated, very well put together projects without even really having to think about it, which is really cool. Whoops. Okay, so I didn't mean to stick that to that. I'm going to open this up and hopefully I have another one. Let me look. I should have done this before. I knew it was running low, but it's right here. Do I have any of the plus? I do. I prefer the Stampin' Seal Plus these days, but we have Stampin' Seal and Stampin' Seal Plus. These are our 2 new adhesives this catalog season. So with the annual catalog that came out in June, these also came out like that. And then we're just going to pop this, whoops, in here. The refills both use the same case, so you only need to buy one case, and then it will work with either. And it's just the inside refill that's got the Stampin' Seal or Stampin' Seal Plus, and you can see I have Stampin' Seal Plus. And now this is going to roll much nicer, because as it gets lower, like any adhesive, it sometimes can be a little bit tougher. All right, so next layer, we're going to go ahead and put these together like this. And what I really like about the Seal Plus is, see how that's kind of overhanging a little bit? I'm just going to fold it over. No problem. And I'll attach that down like that. And then we'll go ahead and, whoops. I find when that happens, if I go the reverse direction, for whatever reason, it seems to like it better. All right. Like that. So you can see this is totally just layering different paper patterns, mixing my patterns, which can be scary. But like I said, if you're using a pattern paper pack that all goes together, you know you can use anything from that pack and it's going to work. You just want to try and keep bold stuff and muted stuff together. So you don't want anything that's, you don't want double, like really busy stuff. So you want to make sure you're only picking one that's a really bold pattern. The rest of them should be more muted and subtle. And a mix of sizes. So see how this is kind of a small print, where this is a little bit bigger, this is kind of medium, and this is a little bit small too. So kind of want to mix your sizes of your patterns. All right, so now comes some magic, okay? So I want to die cut this, but I want it on dimensionals. But if you look at this, to put dimensionals on the back of that, I'd have to cut up like mini dimensionals to make that work. So that would take a ton of time, right? So I'm gonna go ahead, what did I do with my spare piece of white? Oh, here it is. Okay, so I have a piece of white. This is the white that I have. So this one, I'm gonna just like freeform cut a little piece of this foam. It does not have to be perfect. You just want it to be smaller than your paper. See this? Okay, so you get, how many do you get? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these little square sheets in your package. And I believe, I forget, I think they're 10, but don't quote me on that. I'll put it in the description. So now once I have that, it's just like those self-adhesive strips that I showed you last week. You're going to go ahead and peel off one side and you're going to stick that down to the paper, okay? And then we're going to die cut on the front. Just make sure you have it fully in that window. So I'm going to grab my Stampin' Cut and Emboss. So with this, because we're cutting through foam, we are going to want to do this a couple of times. So what I do is I actually use a shim too. So I just grabbed a piece of cardstock that's about the same size as that. And I'm going to lay it on top and I'm going to roll this through. Okay, so I'm going to roll it through. It's going to do a lot of snap, crackling, and popping, but it's not really hard for me to roll it. I'm going to go back the other way. And then for good measure, I'm going back this way. And yes, you do have to run it a couple of times, so this probably isn't something you want to do a million times for a project, but it is really good for these really detailed dies. So you can see it's not quite entirely cut through, so I'm going to flip it upside down this time, and I'm going to do it this way a couple of times. So again, I'm using my shim. I just want to make sure it's fully cut through, because if it's not, it's going to make your life difficult, so, especially with this one. All right, so that one looks pretty good. There's some of those little guys that may not be entirely cut through, but I think we're going to be good. So you can see it's all kind of peeling off, right? So we're going to peel around our die. Okay. Just want to be careful that you don't, this is why you want to run it a couple of times, so that you don't peel off the branches. Okay, let me move this out of the way. And then we're just going to peel, actually let me poke it out. I'm going to poke some of these out because when you're running it through a bunch of times, it will sometimes get squished into the die. So you want to make sure you can pull it out, see? Like that. Come on. And then we're just going to carefully pull that. Now with this one, the backing pretty much comes off all on its own. So I just kind of peel it off. Just make sure you don't stick it flat down yet. And I'm going to use my take your pick tool to just kind of poke these little guys out. And actually it works really well to use it on the reverse side here and just pull them out that way too. So it looks like they're cut perfectly. Some of them even came out when I peeled off the backing. It is really sticky, so it's kind of sticking to my hand. So I'm going to do it this way. See if I can, yeah, see how nice that came out? Come on. Pull that one out. So this take your pick tool is a definite must-have if you're doing these, because it just scoops those babies right out of there. Okay, you want to make sure they're not stuck to the back because then they'll be lumpy. This one, there we go. Pulling those out. Now I'm not quite, actually, I am kind of ready to put it on, so never mind. I was going to say I'm not quite ready to stick it down, but I am. All right, so that looks, oops, I missed one down here where my finger is. Pull that one out and that out. It's easier to see from the front if you're missing anything, but it looks pretty good. You probably will want to have a little rubbing alcohol or something at your desk to wipe off your take your pick tool if you're using the sticky stuff, or you can just have one of these designated for sticky stuff. All right, so it looks like I got all of that stuff out of there. There might be one more. I'm just getting all of this stuff off my finger. Getting that out of the way. I think this one might be still stuck in there a little bit. Let me just poke that through. There we go. Okay, so now we've got our dimensionalized tree, and we didn't have to actually sit there and cut up little tiny mini dimensionals to get it there. So I'm just going to lay this down right in the middle like that. Cute, right? Oh, I love it. Then I'm going to just take a little piece of some twine, the linen thread, and I'm going to go ahead, tie a little bow like this. Okay. And let me grab my ribbon scissors, and I'm going to grab a mini glue dot to stick that on with. Then we're going to do a sentiment, and in my original one I used a sentiment from from Itty Bitty Christmas, which I was using earlier today in my In the Pines class, but then I was like, oh, the In the Pines stamp set has a little season's greeting one, so maybe I'll try that one this time. Where's my... So here's my little piece. We'll see if it fits on here. Maybe it'll be too big. I don't know. No, actually, it's a little smaller, which I think will be good because it kind of took up a lot of space. Let me grab another block here. I'm going to just do it this way. And I used Memento Black, I believe. Yep. For that. And I'm pulling out the crumb cake from the ribbon, so I'm just going to go ahead and stamp that straight down, straight up, right? Cute. And then I'm going to go pretty close to the edge on this side, and I'm going to trim this one down a little bit, and then we'll do a banner end on this. 1, 2, and 3. There we go. Cute, right? I'm a little off on that. Let me just fix that. There. Okay. Now, this can go, I'm just playing with the, I think I actually kind of want it down a little bit lower. I like it better, I think, down here. So I think I'm actually going to do it flat. I popped it, well, no, I'm going to pop this one up too. Where's my mini dimensionals? They are right here. So I'll grab a couple of these and stick those there. Okay, and then I'm going to stick it down here this time and let it overlap that tree just a tiny bit. Oh, and then the last piece, like I said, is this little shimmery white Crystal Effects. It's like epoxy, so it can be used as glue, but what I love it for this time of year is it really looks like snow. So I'm just gonna squeeze a little bit out and make it look like a snowy tree. So just kind of across these little branches here. Like it's a fresh snowfall. Now you do want to give this some time and some space to dry because it's kind of thick. So it doesn't take a ton of time to dry, but because I'm putting it on pretty thick, you do want to kind of set it aside to have some time. You do need to squeeze it a little bit, so just keep that in mind. If your hand strength isn't great, it might not be the best thing for you. Okay. It's only $5 for these. It's called Shimmery Crystal Effects. It's in our annual catalog. So there you can see it just adds a little bit of depth. I don't know if the other one is dry yet because like I said, it's still a little tacky, but it's definitely getting there. So I'll need to set that aside for a little bit longer. But it's just kind of a cool little effect. I don't know if you can even see it. I'll have to take a picture so you can see it in the daylight. But it's really fun. I love it. But what do you think? Do you like? I think I like the greeting down lower much better. So cute, right? All right. So again, if you would like to get my free card class, you have 4 days to be able to shop at my store using this host code. And if you do, you'll get these 3 card kits sent to you directly to the mail. And if your order is over $50, I'll also include the embellishments I used. And I used very minimal product. You'll just need a black ink pad and crumb cake is what I used here. And you may need, if you don't get the dies or if you don't get the stamps, you can use whatever tree stamps you have. You'll just need to be able to fussy cut them. So don't make them super intricate trees. And then I did use a little bit of Wink Stella on there. But other than that, that's it. Just black ink, a tree stamp set. Oh, and the sentiments, which you get the season's greetings in the pine stamp set. But I also used the itty bitty greetings on mine, which is a really good holiday stamp set, greeting set. So yeah, so you'll get the 3 card kits for any order placed by I keep saying that, October 30th using the host code. If your order is over $50, you get the enamel, the wonderful gems as well. If your order is over $150, don't use the host code. You'll still get the kits and the gems, but you'll also earn stamping rewards from Stampin' Up. So if you have any questions, always feel free to reach out to me or comment below. Don't forget the paper is on sale, 15% through the end of the month as well, so you can capitalize on that. And then don't forget to add some of these awesome foam adhesive sheets and the sticky adhesive sheets. Remember, I showed you those last week too, so if you didn't see those, be sure to catch my Teach Me Tuesday video from last Tuesday. All right, that's it for today. Thanks so much for watching. If you liked this video, please be sure to hit like, and if you really liked this video, go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss any of them. I would really love it. It makes my day. All right, have a great week, and we'll see you again next time. Bye.